You can revise. Okay. So here, whenever the on the smooth horizontal surface, whenever the one block is kept here and it is connected to string, passed over the pulley, and the other end is connected a load of mass M2. When you release the system, the two blocks will move in this direction. This block comes from this block, move towards right. Okay, then here this block is pulled by the tension of string T. This block moves down because of weight M2Z. But at the same time, the tension of string opposes the motion of this block. That's why the first block M1 as tensionally pulls the block in this direction, then T can be written as M1 into A. In case of second block, two forces acts on the second block along vertical direction, M2 is downwards and T upwards. Even then, as this block comes down with an acceleration A as that of this block, then this force is greater than this one. So net force in downwards direction is equal to M2Z minus T. That is equal to M3 into A. Or M2Z minus T can be written as M1A now. That is equal to M2A. Or M2Z is equal to, you bring this M1A to right, then it becomes positive. So M1 plus M2 into A when you take A common. Therefore, acceleration of the each block, this block or this block, that is equal to M2Z by M1 plus M2. It is the acceleration of the block. Okay, next. What is the tension of string? So you take directly, this is simple formula. So from equation 1, from 1, T is equal to M1 into A, or T is equal to M1 into A means M2Z by M1 plus M2. Which is the tension in the string. In this way, we can find the tension. Thrust on the pulley. Thrust on the pulley. F thrust is equal to. You see here, if the tension of the string is T, the same tension acts away from the pulley in this direction. The same tension acts on the pulley away from the pulley in this direction. That means two perpendicular forces T and T acts on the pulley exactly in this direction. The resultant of these two is equal to root of T square plus T square. No? Whenever two forces acts on a particle perpendicular to each other, whenever two forces T and T, hey Lokesh, stop your video sharing. Whenever two tensions acts on the pulley exactly at right angles to each other, then the resultant tension is equal to square root of T square plus T square means T square plus T square plus this T square under root. That means root 2 T square. That root 2 T square acts in this direction. Root 2 T square acts in this direction. So because of this root 2 T force, the pulley is pulled in this direction. At the same time, the support is there, no? That support exerts the reaction force on the pulley in opposite direction, which is the thrust. F thrust. Here, the resultant of these two tensions is equal to root 2T because they are perpendicular. When they are perpendicular, resultant force is equal to square root of P square plus Q square. That means root of T square plus T square means root 2T. Thrust acts on the pulley in opposite direction. Therefore, as along this direction, for the pulley there is no motion, then this thrust on the pulley is equal to root 2T. So root 2T. Therefore, thrust on the pulley is equal to root 2 into T means tension, this one. M1, M2, Z by M1 plus M2. In this way, we have to calculate. Okay. Vamshi Krishna. Remaining people you respond. Is the video is having no clarity? Is the video has no clarity? What about voice? Is the audio is clear or not to you? Okay, Vamshi Krishna, you check your system. Vamshi Krishna, you check your system. Okay, right. So this is the thrust on the pulley. Okay, stop sharing. Stop chatting here. Right now. Okay, this is the thrust on the pulley. Okay, next 11th note point. 11th note point. there is an inclined plane. There is an inclined plane like this of angle of inclination theta. Here one pulley is fixed at this point. Another pulley is fixed at this point. Light frictionless pulleys are fixed like this. Here, one end of the string is fixed to one block. The string is fixed to this block having mass m1, and the string is passed over the pulley. And at the other end, another block of certain mass m2 is fixed. It is m2. And you take another string, and one end of the string you fix to this end, and you pass that string to the over the light frictionless pulley, and you suspend the another load of mass m3. Whenever the system is released, in which direction the blocks will move? Whenever the system is released, in which direction blocks will move? Once in advance, based on this concept, the problem is asked. Of course, they asked the tension, I think. Yesterday, somebody else asked me in doubts also. In our material also, I think this problem is there in assignment. Okay. Here, somebody asked me this doubt in the class. Okay. Study hour. Okay, now you see, this is one string, this is another string. That's why definitely tensions are different. These two are not same strings. Up to this only, this string is there, this is another string. That's why if the tension string is say T1, here tension string is T2. So the same tension T1 acts in this here also, but tension is always away from the block. Here, when you consider the tension of the string here, the tension acts away from this block, means in this direction. As it is the same string, same tension acts, but away from the block, means in this direction such tension lies. The tension is string. Suppose this is totally the same string. Whenever this block M3 comes down because of its weight M through Z, then at the same time the string pulls the block upwards with certain force that is called tension string, which is T2. The same tension T2 pulls this block in this direction because this tension acts away from the pulley, means in this direction only. So these are the tensions. Okay, now you see, whenever this block is kept like this, what are the forces acts on the block? First block we have to say. M1Z weight acts vertically downwards direction, and the tension T1 acts vertically upward direction. These are only the forces acts on the block along vertical direction. Of course, along horizontal direction there are no forces. Next, on this block, T1 acts in this direction, T2 acts in this direction, and along the direction of motion of the blocks only we have to consider the forces. Along the direction of motion of the blocks only we have to consider the forces. అందరికీ వీడియో స్టాప్ చేయమని చెప్పాను నేను. రిమూవ్ చేసేలా క్లాస్ లో నుంచి ఒకసారి చెప్తే అర్థం కదా. విజయ్ వంశీకృష్ణ ఓకే. సో ఇక్కడ ఈ బ్లాక్ మీద ఇటు టెన్షన్ ఇటువైపు ఉంది. అయితే బాడీ మూవ్ అయ్యే డైరెక్షన్ ఈ డైరెక్షన్ కాబట్టి వాట్ ఇస్ ద force acts on the body in this direction? No doubt tension T2 acts. At the same time, weight M2Z acts vertically downwards direction. Their component, if it is theta, this is theta. Of course, this component is M2Z cos theta. This component here, the weight component along the inclined plane is equal to M2Z sin theta acts. No. So on this block along the inclined plane, M2Z sin theta force acts, T2 acts. These are only the forces. Three forces acts on the block along the direction of its motion. Of course, perpendicular to the direction means a normal action acts in this direction, and weight component M2Z cos theta acts in this direction. But we have to consider the forces acts on the block along the direction of its motion only. When you release the system, the three blocks may move along this path or along this path like this. That's all. So along that path, the net force along that path forces we have considered. Okay, now for first block, for block M1, suppose here this block here, which block will move? In which direction the blocks will move? You see, along this direction, along this motion of the, along this path, the total forces acts in this direction is equal to T2 plus M2G sin theta plus M3G. Of course, T2 cancel. M2G sin theta, M2G sin theta plus M3G acts in this direction and M1G in this direction. Suppose if M3G plus M2G sin theta greater than M1G, M3G plus M2G sin theta greater than M1G, then entire system will move in this direction. If M1G greater than M2G sin theta plus M3G, then the system will move in this direction. We have to first check them. First you calculate M3G, M2G sin theta and M1G. Here no doubt, suppose along this path, these two forces M2G sin theta and M3G acts in this direction and M1G acts in this direction. Sum of these two we calculate. So here M2G sin theta plus M3G you calculate and M1G also you calculate. If M1G greater than M2G sin theta plus M3G, then the entire system will move like this. If this is greater, then the entire system will move like this. So I will discuss one case here. Suppose M1G greater than sum of these two. M1G greater than sum of these two. Okay, then in that case, as M1G greater than sum of these two forces, M2G sin theta plus M3G, because T2 cancel. Because in this direction T2 acts, here in this direction T2 acts, these two cancel. Similarly, T1 also cancel. Okay, so the entire system will move in this direction with acceleration say A. With acceleration A. Okay, now for block M1, tell me what is the according to Newton's second law of motion. How we can write? Tell me. In case of first block, how we can write? As this block comes down, M1G minus T1 is equal to M. That is the net force acts on the block downwards, which is equal to M1 into A now. Okay, M1G minus T is equal to M1G minus T is equal to M1 into A. Okay, that is equation 1 say. Next, for block M2, tell me, for block M2, how can write? Okay, I will unmute. Vivo 1995 మీ పేర్లు ఎవరన్నా వివో అవి పెట్టుకుంటున్నారు ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పిన మారలు మీరు వివో 1935 అంట మనకి మంచి పేర్లు ఉన్నాయి అవి మానేసేసి అవి ఇష్టం వచ్చిన పేర్లు పెట్టుకుంటున్నారు శ్రీనాథ్ మ్యూట్ రిమూవ్ చేయాల క్లాస్ నుంచి వంశీకృష్ణ Vivo, you are not on meeting. Okay, what is your doubt? Tell me. Vivo, you speak. Vivo 1935. Come on, speak. What is your doubt?
How can we get M2, sir? How can we get M2, sir?
How we can get M2?
Yes, sir.
How we get M2 means M2 value?
Yes, sir.
Based on the given, we have to derive the equation first. When you solve the equations, you will get M2, M1, M3 or T, whatever it may be, based on the given values. By these equations, I am writing just equations. So we have to solve them. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. Varshit Reddy, what is your doubt? Varshit Reddy, now you speak with me.
Sir,
what is the doubt?
In that pulley problem, sir, if M3G, if M2G sin theta plus M3G greater than MG means all same but reverse only, no, sir?
Yeah, same, but we have taken reverse direction.
Sir, once
in
take
this
that.
Direction, in this direction they will move. So
Okay,
T1
sir.
minus M1G is equal to M1 into A. Here m2g t2 plus m2g sin theta minus t1 is equal to mt into a, m3g minus t2 is equal to mt into a. In such a way we have taken.
Okay,
I
sir.
am taking this is greater than sum of these two. That's why the system will move like this. If the sum of these two is greater, it will move like this.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. I will mute, sir.
Right. In case of block M2, along the direction of its motion, that means along the inclined plane, these two forces acts in this direction, this T1 acts in this direction. Even then, as this block moves in this direction with an acceleration A, T1 is greater. That's why T1 minus of M2z sin theta plus T2. That is equal to net force, which is equal to M2 into A. Next, for third block, M3. Along this direction, two forces acts. T2 upwards, M3z downwards. Even then, as the block move upwards, T2 greater than this one. That's why T2 minus M3z is equal to M3 into A. So based on the given values, when you substitute here, you will get the three equations in terms of unknown parameters. The T, it is T1, M1c minus T1. In terms of T1, T2, A, these are the unknown parameters generally. If you are given masses, okay, three equations are there, three variables are there. When by solving them, we can obtain three variables now. Suppose M1, M2, M2 may be given, tension may be given. Then what is the M3 they may ask? Based on the three equations are there, definitely you will be having three unknowns. You will be having three unknowns. Then we can solve all those three unknowns. So it is the way to write the equations. Writing equations is important, not getting answer. Writing equations is important. Okay. So this is another problem. Next, apparent weight. Apparent weight in a lift. Okay, next concept. So these are the based on the tension. These are the some concepts here. Okay, next apparent weight. Apparent weight of a body in a lift. It's very, very important. Apparent weight of a body in a lift. Lift or an elevator. Or an elevator. Elevator or lift, both are same. Elevator or lift. Okay, both are same. Very, very important. What Siddharth, what is your doubt? Yashwant Reddy, what is your doubt? Yashwant Reddy.
సార్
చెప్పండి
సార్ 11th ప్రాబ్లం లో M2 నుంచి టెన్షన్ అనేది అవే పోతున్నాయి సార్.
ఏ ప్రాబ్లం లో 11th ప్రాబ్లం ఏ ప్రాబ్లం లో అనేది
11th సార్ 11th
11th నోట్ పాయింట్ చెప్పు.
టెన్షన్ అనేది M2 నుంచి టెన్షన్ అవే పోతున్నాయి సార్ M2 నుంచి.
అవును,
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇట్ సైడ్ వస్తే M2 కి M1 కి
ఎప్పుడైనా సరే
ఇట్ సైడ్ వస్తే
the tensional string is always away from the body. ఇక్కడ దీంట్లో
సార్
టెన్షన్
మళ్ళీ M1 కి క్లోజ్ గా వస్తుంది.
ఏమన్నా క్లోజ్
M1 కి ఇట్ సైడ్ వస్తుంది సార్.
ఇదే ఇక్కడ టెన్షన్ నోట్ చేసాక ఇక్కడ when you consider the tension here, then the tension is away from the block. అంటే ఈ డైరెక్షన్ లో తీసుకున్నాను అంటే away from the block ఏగా
సార్ ఈ T1 ఒకటే కదా సార్ ఇప్పుడు.
T1 ఒకటేనా నీకు? సపోజ్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ యూ టేక్ ఎ స్ప్రింగ్, ఒక స్ప్రింగ్ తీసుకో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. ఓకే, సపోజ్ యూ టేక్ ఎ స్ప్రింగ్. ఓకే, దీంట్లో కొంచెం ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేసి జస్ట్ దిస్ స్ప్రింగ్ ఈస్ హెల్డ్ లైక్ దిస్ బై ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ ద స్ప్రింగ్ ఈస్ హోల్డ్ లైక్ దిస్. అప్పుడు దీంట్లో స్ప్రింగ్ ట్రై టు కమ్స్ టువర్డ్స్ ట్రై టు కమ్ బ్యాక్ టు ఒరిజినల్ పొజిషన్. ఓకేనా?
సార్
ఒరిజినల్ పొజిషన్ రావడానికి ట్రై చేసేప్పుడు ఈ స్ప్రింగ్ దీంట్లో ఇక్కడ whoever maybe hold this edge, this end, the spring pulls this edge in this direction with a force Fs. అట్లాగే ఈ edge ని కూడా ఈ వైపు పుల్ చేస్తుందిగా సేమ్ ఫోర్స్ తోటి. అప్పుడు ఈ రెండు ఎండ్స్ ఇట్లా దగ్గరికి రావడానికి ట్రై చేస్తాయిగా.
ఎస్ సార్.
అంటే ఇక్కడ బాడీని తీసుకున్నప్పుడు ఏమో స్ప్రింగ్ ఫోర్స్ ఇటువైపు ఉంటుంది, ఇక్కడ బాడీని తీసుకున్నప్పుడు ఇటువైపు ఉంటుంది. ఒకే స్ప్రింగ్ ఫోర్స్ కానీ ఆల్వేస్ యాక్టింగ్ అవే ఫ్రమ్ ది బాడీ. బెస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ on the smooth table, on the smooth horizontal table, keep the two blocks, small blocks, lying by means of a spring. You pull the two blocks away each other and when you release them, release చేసినప్పుడు మీకు రెండు బ్లాక్స్ ఇక్కడ దగ్గరికి వస్తాయా లేకపోతే ఒక బ్లాక్ అక్కడ నుండి ఇంకో బ్లాక్ ఒకటే దగ్గరికి వస్తుందా? అది టూ బ్లాక్స్ కమ్స్ క్లోజ్ టు ఈచ్ అదర్ ఆర్ రెండు దగ్గరికి వస్తాయి, ఒకటే రాదుగా.
yes sir.
అంటే the spring exert the forces on the two blocks towards each other. That means away from this block, away from this block. Similarly, in case of tension also, tension is always acting away from the block. And ఈ బ్లాక్ ని కన్సిడర్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇటువైపు ఉంటుంది. సపోజ్ ఇక్కడ సేమ్ టెన్షన్ ఇక్కడ తీసుకున్నాం అనుకో, ఈ పుల్లీని కన్సిడర్ చేసాం అనుకో, డ్యూ టు స్ప్రింగ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద టెన్షన్ ఫోర్స్ యాక్ట్స్ ఆన్ ది పుల్లీ అన్నప్పుడు అవే ఫ్రమ్ ది పుల్లీ అంటే ఇటువైపు తీసుకుంటాం. ఇదే ఇక్కడ తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి ఇటువైపు తీసుకుంటాం సేమ్ టెన్షన్. That means tension is always acting away from the pulley. Okay. Okay na?
yes sir.
Right. Mass means it is a quantity of matter. Weight means it is the gravitational force acts on the body. Siddharth. Weight means gravitational force means mg. Weight means mg. Mass means m only. Mass is the quantity of matter. Weight is the gravitational force acting on the body, which is equal to mg. Okay. Right. Right now. Now, apparent weight of a body in a lift. Apparent weight of a body in a lift. Most important concept. You better to follow writing running notes. Apparent weight. Apparent weight of a body in a lift. Apparent weight of a body in a lift. Okay. Varshit Reddy, you stop your video sharing. Balaji. Okay. Apparent weight of a body in a lift. Suppose there is a lift or elevator. Lift or elevator. That lift is also called as the elevator. Suppose here there is a lift. There is a lift. The one end of the rope is connected to the lift and the other end is passed over the frictionless pulley. The other end is passed over the frictionless pulley like this. Okay. Now the elevator is moving upwards. Suppose here on the elevator, on the floor of the elevator, a body of certain mass m is kept. Of course, that mass may be by the person. One person is standing on the bottom of the floor of the lift, or a body of mass m is kept on the floor of the lift. That body may be block or a person, whoever may be. Okay. Here one block of mass m is kept on the floor of the lift. Mass m is kept. Okay. Now, here the lift is moving upwards. In first case, lift is moving upwards with an acceleration a upwards. First case, when the lift is moving upwards with an acceleration a, lift is moving upwards with an acceleration a. In this case, you see, what are the forces acts on the block? You tell me. What are the forces acts on the block? One, weight of the block acts vertically downwards direction, which is mg. Because of this weight, is the block break the floor of the lift and it comes down? No. At the same time, the floor of the lift also exerts the reaction force on the block upward direction. So, along vertical direction, there are two forces acts on the block. One, normal reaction, another one is weight. Even then, as the lift move upwards with an acceleration a means the block also move along with the lift upwards. No, that's why along vertical direction on the block there are only two forces, N and mg. Even then, as the block along with the lift, as the block move upwards means N is greater than mg. So what is the net force acts on the block? As N is greater than mg, net force acts on the block is equal to N minus mg, which is equal to net force, that is equal to mass. According to Newton's second law, it is equal to mass into with what acceleration the block travels upwards, equal to velocity of the lift, acceleration of the lift A. Therefore, normal reaction is equal to, that implies normal reaction is equal to mg plus ma or m of g plus a. This is the normal reaction acts on the block. Suppose this block is kept on the weighing machine. Suppose here there is a weighing machine. Here there is a weighing machine. What is the reading shown by the weighing machine? With what normal reaction the floor of the lift pushes the block upwards? That is the reading shown by the weighing machine. So, reading of the weighing machine, reading shown by weighing machine, which is also called as the, which is also equal to normal reaction, or that is also called as the apparent weight of the body, apparent weight. That is, we can represent normal reaction as n or apparent weight w dash. That is equal to n is equal to w dash. That is equal to m of g plus a. No, it is the apparent weight of the body. Suppose we are standing on the weighing machine kept on the floor of the lift. If you are moving upwards along with the lift with the acceleration a, then our weight, actual weight is mg only. But whenever we are moving upwards in the lift, the weight of our body seems to be increased. That becomes mg plus ma. That means the weight of the person seems to be increased. So when we stand in the lift, if the lift is going upwards with certain acceleration, our weight seems to be increased. So whatever the weight seems to be exists there, that is called apparent weight of the body in a lift, which is also equal to reaction force exerted by the, that is also equal to reaction force exerted by floor of the lift on the block or person. Okay, here wheel is connected means the rope is winding by the pulley by means of a motor. That is not shown here. Here, how the lift is moving upwards with acceleration A, as this rope is winding by the pulley with the help of the motor. The rope becomes winding around this pulley. Due to that only lift is moving upwards. Okay. Okay, I will explain. Nana, come down until and case separate. First, we have considered the moving case. If the spring is connected to hand of man, okay, by means of here somehow we are pulling the lift upwards with acceleration A, whether by means of man, by means of motor, by means of pulley, that is immaterial to us. Okay. So in case of elevator, definitely it is pulled by motor only. It's not possible for a single person to pull the entire lift upwards. Okay. So somehow we have to move the elevator upwards with an acceleration A. In such case, what is the apparent weight of the block, or what is the normal reaction exerted by the floor of the lift on the block? Means this one. Okay. That means whenever the lift moving upwards, then apparent weight increases. As the lift move upwards, the apparent weight of the man seems to be increased. And as the actual weight kante apparent weight ఎక్కువగా ఉంటుంది, ఎక్కువగా ఉన్నట్టుగా ఫీల్ అవుతారు. అది అయితే what is the percentage change in the apparent weight of the, what is the percentage change in the weight of the man when he is traveling in the lift upwards with acceleration A? So percentage change in the weight, percentage change in weight of the man, weight of block or man. In this case means while moving upwards is equal to increase in weight by actual weight into 100. Increase in weight means apparent weight minus actual weight mg. by actual weight mg into 100. Apparent weight means mg plus ma minus mg by mg. That means ma by mg no, into 100. That is equal to a by z into 100. This is the percentage change in the weight of the body. Percentage change in the weight of the body, where percentage increase in the weight of the body when the man move upwards with certain acceleration in the lift. Okay. Next, second one, when the lift comes down with an acceleration a. When the lift comes down with an acceleration a. Same concept. When the lift comes down with an acceleration a. Okay, in that case, weight mg acts downwards direction and a normal action acts in upward direction. Even then, as the block comes down with an acceleration a along with the lift, obviously mg greater than n. That's why mg minus n is the apparent weight. Mg minus n is the resultant weight acts on the man, which is equal to m into a. Or normal reaction n is equal to apparent weight, that is equal to mg minus ma, or m of g minus a. It is the apparent weight. W dash represent apparent weight or normal reaction. Already I wrote here. That's why for every time I don't want to write what is n, what is W dash like that. Already I wrote here, everyone. Okay. This is the case when the lift comes down with an acceleration a. Okay. Next, Sai Pawan. Here tension. Tension is there in the rope, not here. Here tension is there. The tension is C. What is that? Okay, I will say the tension also. Next, C. When the lift moving upwards or downwards with uniform velocity. When the lift move upwards or downwards with uniform velocity, u, constant velocity. In such case, acceleration is 0. When acceleration is 0, then whenever acceleration is 0, normal reaction or apparent weight is equal to, you put a is equal to 0, then mg. Here also, when you put a is equal to 0, mg. That means whenever the lift moving upwards or downwards with uniform velocity, in such case, as the acceleration is 0, then the apparent weight of the man is equal to actual weight of the man only. Generally, suppose when the lifts are constructed by repeated organizations or companies, definitely they arrange the lift move upwards or downwards with uniform velocity or slowly, so that the man does not feel any inconvenience. Because while coming down, when the lift comes down very quickly like that, quickly with acceleration downwards, in such case we feel our weight decreases. We feel inconvenient in that case. Inconvenient in this case. But whenever the lift moving upwards or downwards with constant velocity, in such case there is no change in the apparent weight of the man. It is same as that of the actual weight of the man only. In such a way, generally the lifts are designed. Okay. Balaji, stop your video sharing. Balaji, ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పాలా నీకు? Okay. Next, suppose the lift comes down. Suppose the rope of the lift is broken. When rope of the lift is broken, rope of lift is broken. When rope of the lift is broken, then the lift acts as the freely falling body. Lift లో పైకి వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు దాన్ని హ్యాంగ్ చేసిన రోప్ ఉంటుంది కదా, ఆ రోప్ బ్రేక్ అయిపోయింది అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు ఇమీడియట్ గా లిఫ్ట్ మొత్తం కిందకి ఫాల్ అయిపోతుంది కదా. అంటే ద లిఫ్ట్ బిహేవ్స్ లైక్ ఎ ఫ్రీలీ ఫాలింగ్ బాడీ. ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ ఎ ఫ్రీలీ ఫాలింగ్ బాడీ, with what acceleration the lift comes down? In such case, tell me. You mentioned that third box equal to acceleration due to gravity. Okay, that's why A is equal to G. When the rope of the lift is broken, then the lift comes down with an acceleration equal to acceleration due to gravity. In such case, when the lift comes down with an acceleration downwards, the apparent weight of the body is equal to normal reaction, that is equal to mg minus ma kada. That is equal to mg minus m into m is g, that is equal to 0. Therefore, apparent weight or normal reaction becomes 0. That means whenever unfortunately when the rope of the lift is broken, then the lift comes down, lift acts as a freely falling body, and whenever the lift comes down, every person inside the lift seems to be weightlessness condition. వాళ్ళకి weight complete 0 అయిపోయినట్టుగా కనిపిస్తుంది. అంటే ఇది అంటే ఫ్లైట్ లో మనం వెళ్తూ కొంత హైట్ వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత మనం బయటికి వచ్చారనుకోండి, how you feel in such effect we can see whenever the rope of the lift is broken. Okay, so the man feels weightlessness. Here it is weightlessness condition. The man is in weightlessness condition. Weightlessness condition. Next, one more point. Here, whenever the lift comes down with an acceleration A greater than G downwards, that means the lift is pulled down with an acceleration greater than G. When lift comes down with an acceleration greater than G, in that case, normal reaction or apparent weight. Apparent weight is equal to mg minus ma. That means you will get negative, no? Because A greater than Z means definitely you will get negative. No doubt, normal reaction becomes 0. You see, in this case, in this case, you will see A is equal to Z. A greater than Z from downwards. When the lift comes down with an acceleration greater than G, in that case, you see, of course, this block is not fixed to the floor of the lift. The block is not fixed to the floor of the lift. So here, the lift comes down with an acceleration greater than G, but the block comes down because of gravity, no? Whenever we are standing on the lift, because of gravity only, along with the lift we comes down. Along with the lift we comes down because of gravity only. Suppose the lift comes down with an acceleration greater than Z. The gravitational force acts on the body is equal to mg only. Due to that, we comes down with an acceleration equal to G only. But whereas the lift comes down with an acceleration greater than G. That's why here the block comes down with an acceleration G only, whereas the lift comes down with an acceleration greater than G. The lift comes down with an acceleration greater than Z. That's why the block comes down with an acceleration equal to Z only, but the lift comes down with an acceleration greater than Z. That's why the block leaves the contact with the floor and it is inside the lift. It is in floating condition. Now the block is in floating condition. Body is in floating condition. Body is in floating condition. So when acceleration of the lift downwards is greater than acceleration due to gravity, then the body inside the lift, the body is in floating condition. Of course, here apparent weight is 0 only. Apparent, because here the weighing machine is on the floor. The block loses contact with the floor means the weighing machine does not cease any reading. That's why reading of the weighing machine is 0 only, but the body is in floating condition. Okay. Next. Next case, what is the number? Next case means 6th one, no? 6 or 7. Which point? Next point. How high it floats means until this block touches the upper surface of the lift. After that, the upper surface of the lift pushes the block in downwards direction with acceleration A. That's why that comes down. That will happen. Not continuously, it is in floating condition. Until the block reaches the upper surface. Because with respect to this, as it comes down with more acceleration, definitely it comes down. Then this acceleration gradually decreases, and whenever this block touches the upper surface, then the block comes down along with the lifting downwards direction. Okay. Suppose it is in open condition. If the top of the elevator is open, in that case, definitely it comes down with acceleration G only. It falls like this. It falls with greater than acceleration due to gravity. Okay. Next one was here. What is the next point? 6th one. Okay. Next 6th one, very, very important. Suppose here there is a crate or elevator. Crate means while constructing the buildings, already one shaped box is there. In that box, the material is lifting upwards by pulling the rope. Such type of arrangement is called crate. This may be crate or elevator. Here one end of the rope is fixed to elevator and other end is passed over the light frictionless pulley. Light frictionless pulley, and the other end of the rope is arranged into the lift. A lift or elevator. A man standing on the floor of the elevator just hold the one end of the rope. Of course, he has two hands. Okay, here this man, the man stands on the floor of the elevator or crate, and he held the other end of the rope with his hand. He held the other end of the rope with his hand, and he is pulling the rope in downwards direction. He is pulling the rope in downwards direction with certain force. Then the same tension developed in the string in upward direction. The same tension here, the same tension developed in the rope. The same tension acts on the pulley downwards, and the same tension acts here in downwards direction. The same tension pulls the elevator in upward direction. These are the forces. Here, mass of the man is a small m. Mass of the elevator or lift or crate, that is a capital M. Okay, now what are here? Whenever the man pulling downwards with a force F, constant force F, of course that is equal to tension. That is equal to tension here, because it is the rope mass is negligible compared with the mass of the elevator or man. In such case, the whatever the force between the rope is pulled downwards by means of a man, the same amount of tension is developed in the rope. That's why T is equal to F. Here, tension in the rope is equal to force with which the rope is pulled by the man. Okay, now whenever the man is pulling downwards, whenever the man is pulling the rope in downwards direction, then what about the elevator? In which direction elevator can move? Where is point A? Where is point A? Okay, upwards. When the rope is pulling downwards, okay, I will explain again the forces. Here, the elevator is fixed to one end of the rope, and the rope is passed over the frictionless light pulley, and the other end is held by the man who is standing on the platform of the elevator, inside the elevator. Okay, now whenever the man pulls the rope in downwards direction with a force F, then whenever the man pulls the rope like this, just imagine if you do so, what about the nature of motion of the elevator? You imagine whenever the man is pulling the rope in downwards direction with sufficient force, then this rope comes down. When rope comes down, this rope rises up. No, when it rises up, as it is fixed to the elevator moves up. Suppose the elevator moves up with an acceleration CA because of this. Of course, elevator cannot be moved by the man. Crate, such type of crate is having small mass that can be lifted upwards by pulling the rope like this. Okay, I am telling the general case. So here, because of the man pulling the rope in downwards direction with a force equal to F, that is equal to tension also. The elevator moving upwards with an acceleration say A. Now, you consider the man elevator system. When system M and capital M, that means man and elevator system is considered. When system is considered here, because the man and elevator both travel with the same acceleration, that's why you consider the elevator and man as a single system. On this system, what are the forces acts? You tell me. On this man and elevator system, what are the forces acts? Some external agent. బయట నుంచి ఏ ఫోర్సెస్ పనిచేస్తున్నాయి? ఈ మ్యాన్ ఎలివేటర్ మీద. ఇది చూడండి, ఈ ఎలివేటర్ ని ఈ ఫోర్స్ పైకి పుల్ చేస్తా ఉంది కదా. అదే టైంలో ఈ ఎలివేటర్ లో ఉన్న మ్యాన్ మీద కూడా, ఆన్ ది మ్యాన్ స్టాండింగ్ ఆన్ ది ఎలివేటర్, the tension force acts on the man in upward direction. So total force acts on the man and the elevator system is equal to T in upward direction. At the same time, weight of the man mg acts downwards direction, weight of the lift capital Mg downwards direction. So minus mg, that means you take minus g common, then m plus m into z. This is the net force acts on the man elevator system in upward direction. This 2T acts on the system upwards, and m plus mg, that means weight of man and elevator acts in downwards direction. Even then, as the system will move upwards with an acceleration A, this is greater than this one. So net force acts on the man elevator system is equal to this one, which is equal to mass into acceleration. Mass of the system is capital M plus small m into acceleration A. This is so from this, therefore from this, if T is equal to F now, therefore acceleration of the system in upward direction is equal to 2T minus of M plus M into Z whole by M plus capital. Or this is equal to, since T is equal to F, tension the rope is equal to force with which the man pulls the rope. That's why instead of tension we can write F also. So 2F minus of M plus M into Z whole by capital M plus small. This is equation 1. So this formula is also very, very important. When the man pulls the rope with certain force F, with what acceleration the lift move upwards, that means this is the formula. Next, in this case, what is the normal reaction acts on the man? In this case, what is the normal reaction acts on the man? Or what is the normal reaction exerted by the floor of the lift on the man? Because normal reaction exerted by floor on the man only, no? Because man standing on the floor, because of his weight mg, is the man comes down? No. At the same time, the floor of the lift exerts the reaction force on the man upwards. What is that reaction force? Reaction force acts on man by the floor of lift is equal to say N. So what is the normal reaction exerted by the floor of the lift on the man? N we have to find. How? You take the free body diagram of the man. Free body diagram of man. You see, he is the man. What are the force acts on the man? Weight of the man downwards, normal reaction upwards, and the rope also pulls the man upwards with this force equal to tension. If the man pulls the rope in downwards direction with a force F, then with the same force, which is called tension the rope, pulls the man in upward direction. So T also acts in upward direction. Even then, as the man moves upwards along with the lift, then sum of these two is greater than weight. Therefore, net force acts on the man is equal to N plus T minus mg, which is equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, or N plus T is equal to M of G plus A, or N is equal to M of G plus A by T. This is the normal reaction, minus T. This is equal to minus T. Minus T means minus F. So M of G plus A minus F. It is the normal reaction. Of course, we can remember like this. It is better to remember like this. Or A can be calculated by using this formula. Then you substitute here. Okay. So this is also equal to R as N is equal to T is equal to F. Since T is equal to force with which the rope is pulled, then normal reaction plus F. Normal reaction plus F is equal to M of G plus A. Very, very important formula. Very, very important formula. Next, to hold the lift by the man, what is the minimum force with which the rope is to be pulled? ఈ రోప్ ఇక్కడ లిఫ్ట్ పై కదలకూడదు, కిందకి మూవ్ కాకూడదు. హోల్డ్ చేయాలి ఇక్కడే హోల్డ్ చేయాలంటే మినిమం ఎంత ఫోర్స్ అప్లై చేయాలి. అదే కొంత యాక్సిలరేషన్ తో మూవ్ అవ్వాలంటే we had to apply more force to hold the lift here only without moving upwards or downwards. What is the minimum force required? In this next point, minimum force needed to hold an elevator. To hold an elevator without moving. F is equal to F minimum. That is how much? What is the minimum pulling force by the man? That is how much? Okay. Whenever the elevator is to be held at this place without moving upwards or downwards, what is the minimum force required? In such case, acceleration is 0 now. As the lift does not move upwards or downwards, acceleration is 0. When acceleration becomes 0 from 1, here here acceleration A is equal to 0. When acceleration becomes 0, then 2F minus capital M plus small m is equal to 0, no? Or F is equal to minimum force, F minimum is equal to, sorry, let it Z, M plus small m into Z. Why? This is the minimum force required to hold the elevator without moving upwards or downwards. This is very, very important point. This is about the lift. The same case is applicable in case of monkey climbing along the rope, hanging rope. ఇదే కేస్ అండి, అది ఒకసారి డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం, అది కూడా ఇంపార్టెంట్. I will erase this also. Okay. Okay. After I will discuss the monkey concept, I will erase total. So monkey. Next to note point 12. Monkey rope concept. Monkey rope concept. Okay. Right. Suppose first one, there is a rope. There is a rope. One monkey held the rope at the lower end, and it tried to move upwards with an acceleration A. The monkey climbing the rope with an acceleration A in upward direction. In such case, what is the tension in the rope? What is the tension in the rope? They ask. The monkey climbing the rope upwards with an acceleration A. In such case, what would be the tension in the rope? That is the case. So here you see. Here the weight of the monkey acts vertically downwards direction. At the same time, whatever the tension developed in the rope, with the tension, the monkey is pulled upwards. That is the tension T upwards. Even then, as the monkey moving upwards, then the tension greater than mg. Then in that case, T minus mg is equal to ma, or T is equal to mg plus ma. This is the tension in the rope. So whenever the monkey climbing the rope, then the tension of the rope is equal to mg plus ma. That means whenever the monkey climbing the rope with certain acceleration, in such case, the tension of the rope is greater than the weight of the monkey. Just like when in the elevator, when the man is moving upwards, what is the formula for apparent weight? Mg plus ma. Same formulas here also applicable. Suppose sometimes the same question may be asked in another way also. Whenever here the bearing strength, the breaking strength of the rope will be given. If breaking strength of rope is equal to Fb. అంటే breaking strength of the rope అంటే whenever the maximum tension up to which the rope can be bared without breaking, that is called the breaking strength of the rope. అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ టెన్షన్ డెవలప్ అయితే కనుకుంటే rope will be broken. So the breaking strength of the rope is equal to say Fb. If the breaking strength of this rope is Fb, actually you see, whenever the monkey increases the acceleration very quickly, whenever monkey is moving, if the acceleration increases, then tension increases, no? But the breaking strength is equal to tension. The breaking strength of the rope is equal to Fb. Then with what maximum acceleration the rope can travel, the monkey can travel or climbing. That means here in this formula, T is equal to m of g plus a formula is there, no? In this, you make this tension is equal to breaking strength. Then you calculate A. That is the maximum acceleration which the monkey can climb without breaking the rope. So break కాకుండా monkey climb అవ్వాలంటే maximum ఎంత acceleration తో monkey climb అవ్వాలి? Vishwas Gupta. Vishwas Gupta, what is our doubt?
సార్ మంకీ ఫోర్స్ అప్లై చేస్తుంది కదా సార్ లాగుతూ కిందకి.
అవునమ్మా,
హ్యాండ్
ఏమో చూడు, మంకీ ఎంత ఫోర్స్ తో దీని కిందకి ఫిల్ చేస్తున్నావు, ఈక్వల్ టెన్షన్ పైకి డెవలప్ అవుతుంది కదా. సేమ్ ఎలివేటర్ లో మ్యాన్ రోప్ పుల్ చేసినప్పుడు with what force the man pulls the rope, the same force the rope pulls the man upwards, which is equal to tension, no?
Okay.
Same ఇక్కడ కూడా అదే కాన్సెప్ట్ కదా. డెఫినెట్ గా ఇప్పుడు monkey has to pull the rope in downward direction with certain force. Yeah, the same amount of tension is developed in this string in upward direction. Okay.
సో ఆ ఫోర్స్ కూడా m of g ప్లస్ ఏనా సార్?
ఇక్కడ ఫోర్స్ ఇక్కడ మంకీ ఎంత ఫోర్స్ తో పుల్ చేస్తుందో అదే టెన్షన్ కదమ్మా. ఎంత ఫోర్స్ తో పుల్ చేస్తే పైకి వెళ్తుందంటే F is equal to T.
అప్పుడు ఫోర్స్ కూడా అదే కదా సార్?
అంతే. Force between the monkey has to pull the rope downwards means that is equal to tension only. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Now in this case, what is the maximum acceleration with which the man can climb? The man or force? Monkey can climb. Maximum from this you have to find the maximum acceleration. Okay. For A is equal to A max. For A is equal to A max, tension P is equal to braking strength. ఒకవేళ టెన్షన్ బ్రేకింగ్ స్ట్రెంత్ ఈక్వల్ అయితే దీంట్లో యాక్సిలరేషన్ మాక్సిమం యాక్సిలరేషన్ ఈక్వల్ అవుతుంది. we can calculate because you will be given this one, you will be given m and g we know, then we can calculate maximum acceleration, so we can calculate maximum acceleration. Of course from this you tell me what is the maximum acceleration. P plus A max is equal to fb by m, or A max is equal to fb by m minus g. So what is the condition for monkey to climb with an acceleration so that the rope will not be broken? Maximum acceleration is this one. If it exceeds this acceleration, rope will be broken. Or acceleration of the monkey may be less than or equal to this maximum acceleration. That is equal to fb by m minus c. So this is the condition for acceleration of the monkey to climb without breaking the rope. Suppose if the monkey comes down with an acceleration, A, of course tension is upwards and weight mg downwards. In such case mg greater than t, no? That's why in this case what is the apparent what is the tension in the rope? Whenever the monkey comes down with an acceleration A, what is the tension in the rope? That means as on the monkey there are two forces acts, mg downwards, t upwards. Even then as the monkey comes down means definitely mg minus t is equal to ma, or t is equal to mg minus ma. It is the tension in the rope. It is the case whenever monkey climbs upwards. It is the case whenever the monkey comes down with an acceleration A. If the monkey comes down or moving upwards with uniform speed, if the monkey comes down are moving upwards with uniform speed, in such case the tension of the string is equal to weight of the monkey one. See, same case, all elevator cases are applicable here also. When the monkey moves upwards or downwards with constant speed. Okay, in such case tension in the rope T is equal to mg plus ma or mg plus or minus ma. A is equal to 0 here, therefore T is equal to mg. So when the monkey climbs up or sliding down with constant velocity, in that case the tension of the rope is equal to weight of the monkey only. Okay, next, the same concept they may be asking such like this. If breaking strength of the rope, fb is the breaking strength. Breaking strength of the rope is less than weight of the monkey. Breaking strength of the rope is less than weight of the monkey. Here, from the building, one rope is hanging. From the building, one rope is hanging like this. Okay, one monkey has to come down. One monkey has to come down. If the monkey cannot jump from this tall building onto the floor, the monkey cannot jump from the top of the building onto the ground because it is large height. That's why the monkey cannot jump directly from the top of the building to the floor of the ground. Okay, in such case, they see that there is some rope hanging from the top of the building. Then by holding the rope, it slides down. By holding the rope, it slides down. Suppose when the monkey holds the rope like this, and if it comes down with constant velocity, or if it is held like this and it is at rest, In such case, immediately the rope will be broken because the weight of the monkey is mg. If it is held the rope like this, and it will stay there only. In such case, the tension developed in the string is equal, string or rope is equal to T, and weight of the monkey is equal to mg. Okay, as mg greater than tension, definitely, because here tension is equal to breaking strength only, tension is equal to breaking strength, that is less than weight. The maximum tension or breaking strength of the rope is equal to less than weight. That's why weight becomes greater than tension that can be developed in the rope. That's why immediately the rope will be broken. But for the monkey to reach the bottom safely, with what acceleration the monkey has to come down? Because whenever the monkey comes down with certain acceleration, the tension developed is less than weight. No, tension developed here is less than weight. That's why whenever the monkey comes down with an acceleration A, then the tension developed in the string is equal to mg minus ma. With what acceleration the monkey has to come down? Means the tension is equal to breaking strength will be given. Breaking strength, that is equal to mg minus ma. So ma is equal to mg minus breaking strength, or a is equal to g minus fb by m. So the acceleration of the condition. What is the condition? Means acceleration may be greater than or equal to g minus fm by m. fb by m. fb by m. Whenever the acceleration becomes greater, in that case, whenever acceleration becomes greater, then whenever it becomes greater, then the tension developed in the string is less than fb. If it is equal to g minus fb by m, then the tension developed is equal to weight fb only. Otherwise, it is less than fb. Whenever the tension developed is less than fb, definitely the rope will not be broken. That's why the acceleration of the monkey while coming down may be greater than or equal to g minus fb. This is the condition. Sometimes you will be given this value. With what acceleration the monkey can come down? The monkey can slice down along the rope. Means this is the answer. This is the condition and this is the value. Okay, in this way, they may ask. If the monkey comes down or moving up with constant velocity in upward direction or downward direction, then tension developed is equal to weight mg only. Tension developed is equal to weight mg only. Okay. How it moves in horizontal direction? As the rope is vertical, the monkey comes down or moving upwards along the rope only. How it moves horizontal? If any rope is there along horizontal, then the monkey can move along horizontal direction. Okay. See, when the monkey climbs up or moving down, sliding down along the rope with constant speed. Constant speed means acceleration 0. In such case, suppose if the monkey climbs up with acceleration A, in such case tension is mg plus ma. When comes down with an acceleration A, mg minus ma. In that case, in both the cases, in general you write plus or minus a. But whenever the monkey climbs up or moving down with a constant velocity, in that case acceleration 0. When you put 0, then e is equal to mg only. No, the tension developed in the rope is equal to weight mg only. Okay. Whenever the rope is along horizontal direction, in such case, whenever the monkey move in horizontal direction, in that case also tension is developed. Mennu, what is your Mannu? What is our doubt? Mannu. Mannu, what is our doubt? Okay,
Sir.
Mannu.
Sir. సార్ ఇక్కడ డి కేసు ఉంది కదండి సార్, అక్కడ మనం ఎఫ్బి అంటే టీ అని చెప్పినారు కదా సార్, అక్కడ ఎంజీ గ్రేటర్ దాన్ కాబట్టి థ్రెడ్ తెగిపోతుంది కదండి సార్. ఎంజీ గ్రేటర్ దాన్ టీ కదండి సార్ అక్కడ ఆ కేసులో.
ఎంఈ యాడ్ అవుతుంది కదండి, ఎంఏ సబ్ట్రాక్ట్ అవుతుంది కదా.
ఓకే సార్.
నెట్ ఫోర్స్ తగ్గిపోట్లా.
కానీ ఇక్కడ బి కేసులో కూడా బ్రేక్ అవ్వే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి కదా సార్. బి
కేసులో ఎక్కడ
అక్కడ కూడా ఎంజీ గ్రేటర్ దాన్ టీనే కదండి సార్.
ఇక్కడ కూడా ఓకేనా? ఇది బ్రేకింగ్ స్ట్రెంత్. ఇక్కడ బ్రేకింగ్ స్ట్రెంత్ ఇస్ వెరీ గ్రేటర్ కంపేర్డ్ విత్ టెన్షన్. Condition is given like this, we have to do the problem like this. Condition is not given, the rope will not be broken whatever the acceleration with which the monkey comes down. That depends on the
Okay, sir.
cases. Okay. Right.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Ravindra, what is your doubt? Ravindra. Ravindra, what is your doubt?
సార్
Tell me.
మీరు హలో సార్ సార్ ఇందాక మీరు చెప్పారు సార్ మ్యాన్ ఇంకా మంకీ రోప్ సార్ రెండింటిలో డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి సార్ మామూలుగా దాంట్లో నెట్ ఫోర్స్ ఎందుకు యాడ్ అయింది ఎందుకు యాడ్ అవ్వలేదు సార్ మా మంకీ రోప్ దగ్గర
ఏంటన్నా మంకీ
సార్ మంకీ రోప్ దగ్గర ఏంటనే యాడ్ కాలేదు సార్ బట్ మ్యాన్ దగ్గర యాడ్ అయింది సార్ దానికి డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి సార్ మామూలుగా
it is not standing on any platform, no?
ఇది కాదు సార్ ఇందాక నేను చెప్పాను కదా మ్యాన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పారు కదా సార్ ఇందాక
Man standing on the floor of the lift. Floor of the lift manual force ఎగ్జర్ట్ చేస్తుంది కదా
కరెక్ట్
ఇక్కడ మంకీ ఏం చేస్తుంది ఫ్లోర్ మీద నుంచోలా by applying the force on the rope it is moving upwards. Force on rope మీద apply చేసి పైకి వెళ్తుంది అంతే. There is no platform at the bottom. Okay, that is different case now. Okay. Right. Next. So this is the monkey concept. Okay, next one. Some note points, some more note points. Next note point is what is the number? Next note point. Okay. 13. Here on the platform, on the horizontal platform, a person stands. On the horizontal platform, a person stands. And by means of a rope, he is pulling the load upwards. The mass of the load is mv. M. He is pulling the load upwards directly by connecting the rope to the load. He is pulling the rope in upward direction, applying some force in upward direction. Upward direction. Okay. By pulling the rope upwards with a force F, the block is pulled upwards. At the same time, the weight mg acts vertically downwards direction and tension the rope. The tension pulls the block in upward direction. That's why tension the rope is equal to T upwards. The same tension acts on the man in downwards direction. T is equal to applied force F. If the man pulls the rope in upward direction by means of a force, the same amount of tension is developed in the rope, and the rope pulls the man in downwards direction. The rope pulls the hand of the man in downwards direction with the same force equivalent to tension. Okay. In this case, mass of the man is capital M. So weight mg acts vertically downwards direction. At the same time, is the man breaks the floor and he comes down? No. At the same time, the rope, the platform or floor exert a reaction force on the man in upward direction. Here, the reaction force acts on the man in upward direction, like this. The reaction force acts on the man in upward direction. Now, in this case, when the man pulls the rope, pulls the block upward direction with constant speed, minimum force with which the man has to pull the rope in upward direction, and what is the normal action exerted? What is the minimum normal action exerted? Whenever the block is moving upwards with constant velocity or slowly it is pulling upwards, or with constant velocity it is pulling upwards. In such case, what is the force with which the man pushes the floor? The force with which the man pushes the floor is equal to normal action acts on the man due to flow. అంటే ఇక్కడ మ్యాన్ ఎంత ఫోర్స్ తో ఫ్లోని కింద పుష్ చేస్తాడో దానికి ఈక్వలెంట్ రియాక్షన్ ఫోర్స్ మ్యాన్ మీద అప్వర్డ్ యాక్షన్ పనిచేస్తుంది. దట్ ఈస్ ద నార్మల్ యాక్షన్. సో ఇన్ దిస్ కేస్ what is the normal action? Tell me here. You see, what is the minimum force which will the man has to pull the block in upward action to lift at least equal to weight? That's why this is equal to weight mg. Of course, it is equal to weight mg. Okay, now when you take the free body diagram of the man, free body diagram of man. Okay, you see here it is the man of mass capital. What are the forces acts on the man? Tell me. What are the forces acts on the man? One, weight mg acts vertically downwards direction. Next, with the tension T, the rope pulls the man downwards. No, so that's why tension also acts in downwards direction. And normal action acts on the man upwards. So normal action upwards. Even then, the man is at rest on the floor only. That means n is equal to upward forces is equal to downward sum of the downward forces. That means n is equal to mg plus t. But what is t in this case? What is t in this case? Means small mg, no? So mg plus small mg. Therefore, normal reaction exerted by the man on the floor is equal to m plus m into c. Or force with which the man pushes the floor is equal to this one. Or what is the normal action exerted by the floor on the man is equal to this one. Okay, this is the case. Next, if the same block is by means of a pulley, if the same block is lifted, because the water in a bucket is pulling upwards directly from the well, or by means of a pulley we can pull like this. In which case it is easy to lift a bucket with water. That is the case. Suppose if you pull, his board is clear or not? You respond. The remaining people, you respond, please. Okay, that person's name is not clear. Person's name is not clear. Some code language he mentioned. So almost all everyone is having clear vision on board. So you check your system. Right. Next, suppose the same case, same block or same bucket is pulling upwards by means of a man, but by using pulley. In that case, by using pulley. Mass of the man is capital M, so weight mg acts vertically downwards direction. Here mass of the block is small m, so weight mg downwards. Here to lift the block in upward direction by means of a pulley, with the help of the pulley, the man pulls the rope in downwards direction with certain force. Thus, a certain force, yeah. The same tension developed in the string, no? The same tension developed in the string in upward direction. E is equal to F. If I write the force here, you may confuse. So here man pulls the rope in downward direction with a force is F. Here pulling force is equal to F. Pulling force is equal to F. That is equal to tension T. Okay. So what is the here? Whenever the tension developed in the rope is T, the same tension acts here also. No? To lift the block in upward direction, the minimum force or minimum tension to be developed is equal to weight mg. That's why this is equal to mg. Now, in this case, what is the normal reaction? Here we see, whenever the man stands on the floor of the lift, weight mg acts downwards direction, and because of that, the man he does not penetrates into the floor, does not break the floor and penetrates into the floor. That's why the floor also exerts the reaction force on the man upwards. The floor also exerts the reaction force on the man upwards. What is the normal reaction in this case? Or what is the force with which the man pushes the floor in this case? Force with which man pushes man pushes the floor, or normal reaction acts on the man. Normal reaction acts on man due to floor. N is equal to question mark. That is our aim. Tell me, take the free body diagram of man. Free body diagram of man. Here, mass of the man is capital M. So, weight mg acts vertically downwards direction. But that is one force. Next, the rope pulls the man upwards now with a tension equal to T. So, tension T acts in upward direction. Normal action acts on the man in upward direction. So, here, as the man is at rest, as the man is standing on the floor only, he is at rest. That's why N plus T is equal to mg, or N is equal to mg minus T. That is equal to mg minus T means small mg. So therefore, N is equal to m minus small m into g. So the force which is the man pushes the floor is equal to m minus m into g. So when you pull the block or bucket directly by means of a rope, the force with which it pushes the floor is equal to m plus mg. That means in this case, with more force we have to push. Suppose if you pull the by pulling the rope like this with the help of the pulley, if you pull the block in upward direction, in that case, the minimum force which is the man pushes the floor or normal action acts on the man is equal to m minus m into z. So with the help of the pulley only, when you pull the bucket with small force only, we pushes the floor downwards. If you pull the bucket directly with the help of the rope, in such case, with more force we have to pushes the floor in downwards direction. Due to that, the floor may be damaged. Okay, that's why generally to lift, it is easy to pull the bucket upwards with the help of the pulley only, because small force is enough. Small force is enough to pull the bucket upwards or to pull the block upwards in such case. Okay. So this is the another case. Next. Okay, next, contact bodies. Of course, spring concept is also there. I will explain the spring concept. I think I explained the spring force developed in the spring now. You respond in the chat box. Spring force is not explained. Kind of energy stored in the spring is half x square. Not explained. Okay. Next, another type of force is the spring force. Today, in study work, you have to do. In study work today, you have to do the problems based on the tensions. Problems based on the tension. Okay. Next, spring force. Suppose it is the uniform spring. It is the uniform spring. At this instant, it is in unstretched position. That means there is no extension or compression. It is the natural length of the spring. Natural length. This is the natural length of the spring. L. Natural length of the spring. Natural length of the spring. Now, this one end of the spring is fixed to the rigid support and the other end is pulled in this direction. Other end is pulled in this direction with a force say F. Other end is pulled with a force F. Okay. Because of this, here whenever you pulling this end of the spring in this direction, this end of the spring gradually move in this direction so that the spring extends. Suppose whenever the spring extends up to this point, there is no further extension in the spring. At this position, the spring is under equilibrium. At the time, here on the spring, at this time on the spring, because of application of the force here, the applied force is in this direction, and the extension of the spring is equal to say x. Initially, in case of unstretched condition, the free end of the spring is here. Whenever the spring is pulled with a force, the external force F in this direction, the spring extends up to x and it is under equilibrium at this position. At this time, at this position, when you remove the spring, when you remove the external force, then what happens? When you remove the external force, what happens? When you remove the external force, what happens? Then, not compressor, the spring come back to the original position, just like elastic rubber cord. When you apply the force on the rubber cord like this, the extension takes place. When you remove the force, come back to the original position. No? So here, when you remove the external force here, it come back to the original position. So we are not moving this end towards this end is not moving towards the original position. Automatically come back. That means that indicates whenever the spring extends like this, because of change in shape or size of the spring, some forces are developed in the spring that brings the spring back to original position after removal of the external force. Such type of forces developed in the spring whenever the spring compresses or extends, and due to which the spring acquires the original shape or size after removal of the external force. That is called the spring force developed in the spring. That is called the spring force developed in the spring. Okay. The spring force developed in the spring is always opposite to the applied force. That's why the spring force Fs is in this direction. The spring force developed is in the spring force developed always opposite to the applied force. Okay, but as it is the light spring, the spring force developed in the spring is equal to applied force only. This is equal to applied force only. Suppose if you pull the spring with more force, more extension takes place, and when you remove the external force, it come back to the original position, means more spring force is also developed. That's why it was observed that the spring force developed is directly proportional to extension of the spring. But spring force is in this direction, whereas extension of the spring is in this direction. Both are in opposite direction. That's why you had to put minus sign. Our spring force Fs is equal to some proportionality constant k into minus x or minus k into x, where k is called the spring constant. K is called spring constant or stiffness constant or force constant. This spring constant K depends on the nature of material of the spring, length of the spring, that means dimensions. The K value depends on nature of material of the spring, dimensions of the spring. It was found that the spring constant is inversely proportional to length of the spring. Spring constant is inversely proportional to length of the spring. Okay, so note point. Note 1. Spring constant is inversely proportional to length of the spring. If length of the spring is more, spring constant will be less. Okay, Fs means spring force. Already I wrote here now. Fs is the spring force. Fs, spring force. Spring force. Okay. Now, second one. Suppose there is a spring. There is a spring of spring constant K and length capital L. It is divided into two parts here. It is divided into two parts. This is one part. This is other part. The length of these two parts are L1 and L2. Spring constants of this part is K1. This part is K2. What is the ratio between K1 and K2? The given spring is divided into two parts so that the length of the two parts are L1 and L2. And these spring constants are, as the length is decreased here, length of this part is less than this one. Definitely spring constant changes. So K1, K2. Then what is the ratio between the spring constants of these two springs? These two parts. As K is inversely proportional to L, implies K1 by K2 is equal to, we can write L2 by L1. This relation is very, very important. Okay, here, suppose a spring, light spring means mass of the spring is negligible. A light spring having spring constant K and length capital L is taken. If it is divided into two parts so that lengths are L1, L2, then what about K1? In terms of K, they may ask. So K1 in terms of K means, you see, in case of this large spring, spring constant is inversely proportional to capital L. In case of the small part, spring constant K1 is inversely proportional to L1. Divide these two, that implies K by K1, sorry, K1 by K is equal to capital L by L1. No? K1 by K is equal to capital L by L1, or K1 is equal to L by L1 into capital K. This is the spring constant of the first part. Similarly, K2 is equal to capital L by L2 into K. This is the spring constant of the second part. Okay. Sometimes they may ask, once it was given in M set, if the string is divided into two parts so that their lengths are in the ratio. Of course, this is totally the spring having spring constant K and length L. It is divided into two parts. It is divided into two parts so that the lengths of these two parts are LM, LN. LM, LN, which are in the ratio LM by LN is equal to M is to N. The spring is divided into two parts so that their lengths are in the ratio M is to M. Then the spring constant of this spring is Km, spring constant of this spring is Kn. Then what about the Km, Kn values? What about the Km, Kn values? What about Km, Kn ratio or Km, Kn values we had to find. Okay, in such case, you see, Km is inversely proportional to Lm. Kn, that means the constant of this part, is inversely proportional to Ln. The original spring constant K is inversely proportional to their length L. But L is equal to Lm plus Ln, no? Because this total spring of length L is only divided into two parts. That's why Lm plus Ln is equal to capital L. No? These are the relations we got. Now to find Km value, divide these two. Km by K is equal to 1 by Lm by 1 by L. That means L by Lm. That is equal to L means we can write Lm plus Ln by Lm. Okay. So therefore Km is equal to, you split them, 1 plus Ln by Lm into, we can write K. So 1 plus, what about Ln by Ln? Ln by Ln is equal to M by N. Okay. Ln by Ln means N by M, no? Into K. Therefore Km is equal to M plus N by M into K. This is spring constant of the first part. Similarly, for Kn, for the spring constant of the second part, M plus N is common. By N we have to write into K. This is the spring constant of the other. These points are very, very important. So based on this, already in YouTube, based on this spring course, I already uploaded in the YouTube. So you see them. Okay.